Hello, welcome back to the Intuitive Empire podcast. I am your host, Jaya Rose, and I am popping in to let you know what's happening today on the show. This is actually a little pop up. It's a pop up episode. Wow, wow. Because it's not coming out on Tuesday, and I already put an episode out on Tuesday. And if you didn't listen to it, you should go back and listen to it because I definitely got personal talking about my relationship with men and being desired and sort of how toxic it was. And I've gotten some really good feedback about it. So go check it out if you haven't yet. This episode is actually an interview I did with my client, Mary. And it was just too amazing not to put on here. I just had to archive it and share it with you because Mary has such an incredible story. And she didn't go into the whole thing, but a little bit of her backstory is that she had a lot of loss. And she actually had a lot of very intense things growing up, a really hard childhood. And I'll let her tell her own story. But when she came to me and she was interested in joining Embody, she was in a lot of grief. Her husband had passed away 2 years prior. She had lost 2 horses, who she had had for 25 years, and also a dog, I believe. Just all of this loss. And she was really lost, feeling like she knew she needed to do something to change her energy and switch up how she was feeling. And she really just didn't know what to do. And so when we got on a call and talked about whether or not Embody was right for her, it was this magical interaction. And as I explained to her the 7 phases of Embody, from sacred self-care to intuition activation, innate magic, to your highest self archetype, to your needs, desires, your soul story, to your big vision, and to your deep devotion. She was like, every step of the way, just like, oh my gosh, that's what I need. That's what I need. And by the end of the call, I talk about this with her, that you'll hear. She said the most profound thing any client or anybody really has ever said to me. And you'll have to listen in for what that is, because it was the thing that when you help people and you're in the business of transformation, it's like everything. It's literally the holy grail of things for someone to say to you. So I'm excited for you to listen in. She had such a profound experience in Embody, going from not even knowing like what she didn't even know what she wanted to want to do. She really was in a fog, and she's come out of that in just 3 months. She's gotten clear that she wants to build a business around teaching people how to use the law of attraction, because she's had so much hardship and is such a master manifester. And people are always writing into her, asking her, how do you do this? How do you manifest? How do you, how come it's working for you? And so she's come into my Momentum program, which I only offer to my Embody students, which is a spiritual business mastermind. And I'm helping her build her spiritual business now. And it's just insane that what's possible when you say yes. When you say yes to yourself, when you're ready to get out of your own way and to fully step up, and you don't even know what you're stepping into, but you're just willing to say yes. It's so inspiring. So I really wanted you to hear her. She's raw, real, fun. She curses a lot, and she's deep. And you just want to listen to her. So that's why I'm putting this on here. I wanted to let you know also that the doors to Embody are closing this weekend. So depending on when you're listening to this, they could already be closed. If you are called and you've been listening to any of my content, any of the podcasts that I've mentioned it, or you want to just check it out, I'll put the link both to the website and to the application below. This is time. This summer round, I can tell you that the women who have joined are so ready to step into their spiritual gifts, into their leadership, and into really being their highest selves and in service, and also creating abundance with their gifts. It's powerful, and you are invited if that feels like what you're being called to do. It's not going to be open again until next September. So this is definitely the best, most potent, most affordable way to work with me. If you're ready to say yes, step up and fill out that application. And we need to get on a call in the next few days. So let's do it. All right. So check out this episode. Can't wait to hear what you think. As always, throw it up into your stories. Let me know that you listened. Let me know what takeaways you had. And I would just love to hear from you. Okay. So much love. So the last round of Embody, I did a live video. I think it was on a Thursday, and I was closing the doors on Friday. And Mary hopped on that video, right? And and on that video, I don't know. Actually, why don't you share a little bit about what experience you had? Maybe we can just go back and forth sharing about it because it's so profound.
Oh my God, it was divinely inspired. I mean, I was trying to think about was I like one. I think I had to wait a while to get into Embody after I signed up for it. So I think I was like, I think I was at, I don't know. It doesn't matter. But either way, I was coming out of this fog because I was like in, I'd been through a lot of grief and everything that had been happening in my life over a couple of years. And I was just like at a position in my life to where I was like, God, what the fuck am I supposed to be doing? Where am I supposed to be going? What am I supposed to be doing? And I went back through some of my old shit, and it's like, this doesn't feel right. And I just kind of gave it to God. It said, show me a sign. What am I supposed to be doing? Where do you want me to go? How can I best serve you? What am I, and then I log into Facebook, and you show up.
And I love that you say log in. So let's just clarify. Anybody who actually says that they log into Facebook is somebody who does not get on Facebook all the time. Like I do no logging in. I just open the app and there's no thing as logging in, right?
I don't spend a lot of time on there. So yeah, no, I logged in and boom, you showed up, and I started listening to you, and you said something about highly sensitive and intuitive women.
Yeah.
And it just kind of did something for me, and I was like, okay.
She's talking to me.
Yeah, you're talking to me. Well, I think I said that in the video. I mean, you said
I'm speaking. You said you're speaking to my soul. I remember you saying that.
Yeah, you were speaking to my soul, and I could feel, and I'm getting it right now. I call them quantum chills. It's those chills they just come down through the top of your head and just go down through your whole body. And I'm getting them right now, just remembering this. But I was having those while I was listening to you, and it's just like I heard you need to do this, and I'm like, who is this Jaya Rose? Because prior to that I had never seen you at all in my news feed ever, and I'm like, how do I know you? I mean, who are you? So I went and I looked at your profile, and it's like, wow, I've been connected with you for 3 years and I've never seen one of your videos. How weird is that?
Yeah.
And it's not just coincidental that you showed up in my feed that day.
Right.
You were God's answer to my question. So yeah, and he certainly did provide me, and I love you.
Oh my God. I love you as well. It's amazing because I think for people who are building a business and using social media, it can be so much about strategy and what, and algorithms and how do you show up and what do you say? And it's like, I feel like your and I connection, and also the beliefs that we share, and the reason that we do connect so deeply is because of our faith, I believe, and our ability to get past things in our life and see them as meant to be, even when they are incredibly difficult to deal with as a human.
Yes.
And so I feel like that's such a big part of our connection. And you're right. It's not even about the video that I did as much as it is about the fact that it was meant to be. It was meant to be in your life, and that you said yes. I mean, so incredible. And I know that one of the things that we talked about on our call together was how, I actually remember, so to back up, you were saying at the beginning of the call, you were like, I don't really know what this is. I mean, I don't even know who you are. And you were like, I don't know. Like, and I had this sense of, and I don't really sell on my calls anyway. Like, it's much more about connection.
You don't.
Yeah, it wasn't about selling, but I had an even more distinct awareness about that with you, where I was like, I am not selling this woman anything. I am simply creating, I'm creating like a platter for you to look at and say, is this what I want? It's just,
Right.
and I just laid it all out. And you remember what you said? Because I've quoted this many times.
This is for me.
You
I know I said that.
you were like, oh my God. Well, everything along the way. I mean, we're talking about, sacred self-care and intuition
Oh, yeah.
activation and highest self archetype, and really getting into your particular innate magic, like what you're here to do and your soul purpose. And you were like, oh yes, this is what
Yes.
I need. This is what I need. And then
Yeah.
you said to me, because as somebody who provides a service that happens to be my sole purpose,
Yeah.
what you said to me, and I know it's not about me, but is so freaking validating that, of course, I receive it. And it was, this is exactly what I've been praying for.
It was. I'm gonna start crying now.
Oh, I'm going to make you cry. Here's my tissue. I feel you, sister.
Yeah, because that is so true. I mean, I was at a point, I'll never forget that. Yeah, you were definitely an answer to my prayer. And so is the next step.
Yeah.
So is the next step. It is just so unbelievable how that actually has also been an answer to a prayer.
So for everyone who's listening, she's talking about the Momentum Mastermind. So I offer my
Yes.
signature program, Embody, which is a 12-week spiritual lifestyle program. And then once you complete that, then I offer you Momentum, which is a spiritual business building program.
Yes.
Yeah. And
Yes.
I used to teach business and I used to teach visibility, and I realized that I'm not even interested in teaching it without the foundation of this Embody method. So as you're saying, that you're really ready for the next step, let's talk about that transformation that you had from saying, I'm not even sure what this is. I'm not even sure who you are. But when I told you what it was, you knew that it was what you were praying for. And so as you
Yes.
went through this process, like, where have you arrived? What have you been through, and where are you now?
Uh, Holy cow. Um, I sat down and I wrote everything out. And it's like Embody gave me, and Embody is the program that I signed up for, the
Yeah.
first one. Okay. And I mean, it gave me clarity for my life, and I found a direction.
Yeah.
I have found a direction. I have found something that resonates in my soul.
Mm.
And I love that. It's helped me to get back on track. It's helped me with my mind, my body, and my spirit.
Mm.
I don't feel that energy drain I used to feel. Now, that's not to say that I don't have perfect energy every day.
Yeah.
It kind of goes up and down, but I don't feel lost anymore. I mean, I have some clarity, and I love how it was uniquely designed and created for highly sensitive and intuitive women.
Mm.
That's what really got me, because all the other coaching programs I've been in, it's like everybody's right here. We're all in one box.
Yeah.
We're all the same. There's no individuality.
Yeah.
You do it this way, and if you haven't done this way, you're just a piece of shit and you're not really trying.
Oh my Lord,
That's
to the
kind of how
mercy.
I would feel.
That is
you know
horrible.
Yeah, it is a horrible feeling, because you're giving it all your best, but it's not speaking to your
Yeah.
soul.
It was
And
never set up for you to succeed. I mean, that's how I feel. I've been
no,
in a lot of situations where I was like, this is so not for me. Um,
right.
so why do you think that it worked for you in that way? And yes, of course, it is the intention. I mean, I'm a highly
Mm-hmm.
sensitive, intuitive, empathic woman, and I do know what works in terms of growth and expansion, because we as empathic women have such incredible ability to create transformation in other people's lives and in our own. Yet if we feel confined or we feel restricted, we just self-sabotage all day long.
Oh
All day
yeah,
long.
totally.
And so I feel like it's sort of like the polarity of it. And so I understood that when I created it. But why do you think it worked for you? Was there something about the content or the coaching or the community? Like, was it
Mm,
what was it that helped you not feel overwhelmed or not feel like you were in this box, but also a container, right? It's not a box, but it has to
right.
be a container, or it's just loose energy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
everything about it. I can't, there is nothing that did not serve me in there. You know, in the beginning, I felt a little overwhelmed because I was in that fog. And
Yeah.
I was like feeling a little unsure of what I was doing and what I got myself
And like how,
into.
right? Like, is this going to work kind of a thing?
Exactly. And is
Yeah.
this real? Is this
Yeah.
real? Are you really coming from a place from your heart?
Mm. Ooh,
Are
you're
you
questioning
really?
that about me?
Oh, yeah. I
Oh, I
question that
didn't
about
even know
everybody.
that.
I question
What?
that about everybody, you
Oh
know?
my. I didn't even
Yeah.
know I had something to prove. Look at that.
Well, you didn't have to prove. I had to prove something to myself that my intuition was right.
Ooh. Ooh, so
Because
good.
I have doubted my intuition so fucking much. It has gotten me in so much trouble.
The
And it's
doubting.
like the doubting my
Oh,
intuition.
yeah.
Yes. So I have learned that, so it wasn't about you, it was about me and
Yeah.
that divine download I got. It's like, is this real?
Right.
Really? Seriously?
Wow.
Should I spend that money? Should I go do that? Oh, hell yeah. So you have taught me how to, you've brought me back into the power of my intuition.
Mm.
You know, through, you know, the group coaching was amazing because it was small
Mm-hmm.
and we each got our time, and there's not one person in there when we were on a coaching session that I didn't have some enlightenment from. I
Yeah.
mean,
From their
everything
experience.
from their experience,
Yeah.
everything applied to me too, you
Yeah.
know? And so it's almost like I got four coaching sessions in one,
Right. Well, and that's the
you know?
magic of a curated group. You know,
Yeah.
that's not by accident. But at the same time, it is really powerful to have that hold that space with other people. I love that
Oh
so
yeah.
much.
Well, and that's the other thing, was the holding the space. And the holding the space for each other was really from a place of love.
Mm,
Totally open, no judgment,
mm-hmm.
no, I mean, you can't have love and judgment in the same space.
Mm-mm.
And I never once felt judged for the, you know, I
Mm.
think for the first time in a coaching session, really, you know.
Man, that's
So
incredible.
totally 100%, I did not feel judged, you know. So, and it was just the, oh, and then the chakras, I mean,
Yeah.
that really helped. I mean,
Yeah.
having the way that that was all integrated
Mm,
into each lesson was like, wow, I didn't know that this went with this, or that this
mm.
could help with this, you know. It's like I started to understand how everything comes together and how it all works with each other.
Yeah.
And then the oh, what was it? Oh, and I loved your meditations because your voice is like kind of like an angel when you're sitting in there doing it. It's just so peaceful, and it's like, I think it was the innate magic when I first did
Mm.
that
Yes,
one,
yes.
man.
I remember.
It brought me down. I was just like bawling because for the first time in my life, I visualized this package inside of me, and it was like, holy
Mm.
shit. It was just amazing. So yeah, everything about it, you know, and
Oh,
that's.
I love how you just took us through this whole journey. Like I'm crying again too, but I feel,
I know, I'm a
you
little
know,
teary eyed.
from you like feeling this gut instinct that this
Yeah.
is so right for you and following that intuition, but then the first feeling that you have is that you wonder if your intuition was even right, and you're in a program that is
Yeah.
all about you living your life and creating a business through your intuition. It's like it's almost
I
ironic, right?
know,
But I do feel like it is what holds people back. And so
right?
I've said this before, that I
Mhm.
feel like the people who need my particular magic and what I bring to the table,
Yeah.
actually, the initial thing that they're going to receive is the one block that's holding them back from saying yes.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? So it's like, if you wouldn't have allowed your intuition to lead the way because of the doubt and fear you had that you may not be able to trust it, you wouldn't now have had the experience that, well, not only can you trust it, but you could build an entire business. I mean, you could build an intuitive empire.
Oh my
And
God, yeah.
right. And so, right, it's like, I feel like we, especially as sensitive women, it's funny because maybe it was for this. I had an intuitive hit today to create some content around the concept that you are not stuck. You're just not
No,
listening.
exactly. I
Oh, and I
agree
was
with
like,
that.
ooh, I had this whole post in my mind because I think in Facebook posts, it's very weird. But I'll be like, it's not that you're not listening, or it's not that what was it? It's not that you're stuck. It's that you're
It's
not
not that you're
listening.
stuck, you're not listening. And that's
Burn.
true.
I
I
was going to
don't
say,
listen to myself.
it's that you're not listening. And I was like, maybe I
Right.
need to do that in a live video because people might get a little offended. But it's true, isn't it?
Oh my God, yeah. I can't tell you how many times I've had these divine downloads and I've not listened. And
Yeah.
I've suffered the repercussions of it. And sometimes they've been pretty strong repercussions. Let's just say
Wow.
that.
Wow.
I've
Well,
learned.
so in this, what are you stepping into? So I'm like hearing the journey that you felt in a fog, and you had gone through so much grief, and coming out of that. It's not that you come out of it into an unknown land, right? You come out of it into home, which I like to say it's
Yes.
like bringing the innate magic in particular is like coming home to the truth of who you are. And as you do
Yeah.
that, so much more becomes possible for you. So what are you believing is possible for you right now? And what are you looking forward to creating now?
Jaya, I really believe that I can do anything I tell myself I can do.
Yeah.
I don't believe there are any I can't see nothing in my way other than myself.
Yeah. Right.
Just me, totally. I mean, seriously,
Yeah.
I'm extremely blessed. And there's it's just my fears and all those old beliefs that are standing in the way. And I'm just feeling so compelled to I don't know exactly yet. I'm gonna
Yeah.
be honest with that, and that's why I'm
Yeah.
going into this next phase with you. Is what can I create?
Yeah.
What can I build that's going to help other women like me? That
Yeah.
have been through the shit that I've been through, and they want to, they want to move on, or I'm not real sure.
Yeah.
That's why I'm
Yeah.
going into this. But
Right.
I do know that I have a calling to go that direction. And
Yeah.
before I didn't really feel 100% sure of that. I mean, I kind of been hearing it, but I've been ignoring that shit.
Yeah. Well, I could have told you on our first call. I mean, I remember you telling me that people always come to you, that people reach out to you for advice on
They
being
do.
positive, on using the laws of the universe. And I was like,
Yep.
oh, I can see where this is going to go. I already
Yeah.
think I see it. So, like, when I ask you that question, I sort of expect that you're going to answer it with my vision for you because
Yeah.
I see your highest self, and I always did.
Yeah.
And I see the vision, and I see what's possible for you. And I don't think that you have to see it. I think that one of the powerful things about mentorship is that when you align with someone who does see your highest self and sees what's possible, then you
Yeah.
get to trust, right? You get to lean in and lean into like your own experience and your own growth, which is, I mean,
Yes.
you've done that so beautifully. It's
Thank
incredible.
you.
Yeah. So
And that
I'll,
you hit on a key. It's having someone believe in me.
yeah,
Yeah.
I
I,
know
I
it's,
I think you're the first person who's really done that from your great big huge heart
oh
that you have.
my God, I'm gonna cry. What?
And I know you're real because I went and saw you in person.
It's real. It's real.
And you're identical to what you see right here
Yeah.
in
Well, that's
person. You
good.
are not fake. You couldn't be any more real. You are
Oh my
so
gosh.
authentic.
It's funny because I know that that's a thing online, like I've heard obviously, but at the same time, I never think about that because
Yeah.
that just, it comes naturally for me. I don't know how to be any other way.
I
I'm a
know, right?
Sagittarius through and through. You will always know what I'm thinking and feeling. And it will,
Yes.
yes, in one way or another.
Yeah.
So that's good. But no, I appreciate that because I do think in the online space in particular that
Mhm.
it is important for people to understand. And there can be a lot of wool going over the eyes, saying,
Oh, yes.
yeah, saying one thing and doing another thing and being something entirely different than all of those things.
I know,
But that's what
right?
Embody is about, right? Like who would I be to have a program called Embody if I wasn't truly walking that walk? I mean, I feel a great
Exactly.
responsibility for that, right?
Yeah, and that's just it. You actually are walking. You're not just talking. You
Right.
are actually practicing all these things. And I
Yeah.
love how you're like, oh, hey, I just adjusted this. This is going to be freaking awesome. And you just go put new content in there. It's not like, okay, here it is, follow it to the T or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, you actually like accommodated our needs,
Mm.
or you would come up or something would like come to you and you're like, I need to do this for you guys,
Yeah.
and it always hit us so powerful, so
Mm.
yeah, I
That's
mean,
so good.
it's just amazing, and you don't normally see that in coaching programs. I've not ever been in one where that's happened.
Yeah, interesting. I feel like whatever coaching programs you have done that you keep referring to, like we need to put those on a list somewhere and make sure that no highly sensitive intuitive women ever come close to them because it
No.
sounded terrible. Like
Well, and
what
that's
the
kind of
hell?
why that's kind of why I kind of want to come out here, because it's like, it's really not as difficult as some of these people make it out to be. I mean, once you get right down to it, there's simplicity to it. I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, and it's like, and I got so confused by all this other stuff that you got to do this, and if you're not doing it, it's
Oh
not
my
working because
gosh.
you're not doing it right, and it's like, what? No, really,
It's
I was
like,
so out of alignment.
oh, and that's what I know. I had a call with a gal who wants to join this next round, and this is what she said. And she had invested $17,000 into herself and all these programs. And she was like in tears when I offered her
Oh
Embody
yeah.
because it felt so good to her. And she
Mm-hmm.
was like, I never, and she said something so similar to what you said. She was literally crying when I made her the
Yeah.
offer and said, you get me. Like someone finally gets
Yep.
me. And I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, this is, I believe, the next paradigm of leadership, and I call it spiritual leadership because when you're in touch with your soul and spirit, that's
Yep.
alignment. Like, that's how I define
Yes.
alignment. When I'm not in alignment, I'm either not in touch with myself or I'm not connected to spirit,
Right.
period. One
Yeah.
or the other, or both. That happens sometimes, right? But
Yeah.
I believe that as leaders, this is what we're being called to do, is to have this authentic walk your walk, what you're saying, right? Be who you
Yep.
truly are and be the example that you're teaching, the methods that you're teaching, live them. And then
Yep.
also that connection with something so much bigger than us, because as a highly sensitive woman, I would personally sabotage myself, like I said, all day long if I wasn't claiming at least that this is bigger than me. Even the
Yes.
whole embody method, I don't even know. Like, I didn't sit down and go, this is what I'm going to teach. And this, like, it just came through. I mean, I didn't even have it created until you were in it. I didn't even
I
know.
know, right?
I mean, I knew the outline, right? Like, I knew because I had to be able to talk about what was going to be in the program, but the content wasn't
Mm-hmm.
created. And I just think that might not work for everybody. Like, I am certainly not the mentor for everybody, and that is
No.
totally fine.
Yeah.
And for women who have a similar story to you or feel how you feel, that they're a circle or they're a waving squiggly line in trying to be fit inside of a square, that you still can have success. It
Yes.
doesn't mean you can't have success just because you don't want to do it the way someone else is teaching it. But what? Like, what would you say to women who are in that? What do they need to do? Tell them what to do, Mary.
You need to listen to your intuition,
Yeah.
your higher self, because and it's always there. It's always talking to you, and something that people do, and they put a price tag on what they're willing to pay
Yeah.
to do something for themselves. It's like, you're priceless.
Mm.
Why
Oh
the
my
hell would you put
God.
a price tag on that? Why would you put a price tag on yourself?
Oh
you
my
know
God.
when
I'm going to
when
cry.
when i
That's
when i
so
think
good.
about this shit, it's like, and that's how, I mean, if you really want to change your life, you cannot put a price tag on it. do not put a price tag on it. And you need to listen to your soul. I mean, if it says trust it. I
Yeah.
mean, I had no clue where I was going when I jumped in. I just jumped in.
Yeah.
I just jumped in. I just jumped in, and it's like stuff started becoming clear, and it started getting clearer and clearer and clearer, and it's like, and when I knew we were getting to the tail end of Embody, I was like, what next? And
Yeah.
then, and I was waiting, I was like, what next? And then you mentioned possibly doing this, the next thing,
The mastermind.
mas-
Yeah.
the mastermind, and I was like, holy cow, I don't care how much it is. If you want me to be
Yeah.
in this, provide for me. Holy
Yeah.
shit, it came just like
Okay,
that.
so let's tell that story. I know we're not getting too specific, but the last couple of weeks of Embody, so I have created another
Mm-hmm.
program now that I offer, like I was saying to the ladies after Embody, a
Yeah.
momentum mastermind, which is the spiritual business portion that takes this embodiment to the next level and turns it into service and abundance, right? Yay.
Yep.
And in that, I didn't know yet what it was. So I wasn't like I wasn't trying to hold it in. I just literally didn't know what it was going to be. And so you had started asking, though, a couple weeks before we were ending, you were like, okay, what next? What next? And I
Yeah.
think it
What
was
next?
your prompt and just the feeling I was getting. I was like, I better create something because these women want something. And of course, it's momentum. What do you want? You want to take all this energy that you've cultivated and this power that you've harnessed in yourself and clarity and freaking do something with it. And so that's
Right?
right. So momentum, we want to create momentum. But I know that so I was having my own process, right, around those couple weeks and
Yep.
in creation, and you were also in creation. So will you just tell that story, however much of it you want to share, what was going on there?
Well, I was getting concerned because it's like, okay, I'm to this point. I don't know what to do next. I know that I kind of want to take this step because I think it was like just the second week before the ending, I finally decided I think I do want to create a business or something out of this to help other people. I think this is how I am supposed to serve other people. I
Yeah.
think I finally arrived to that, like clear towards the tail end. And then I'm like, I don't even know how I should be doing this. I don't
Yeah.
even know what to do. And then I kind of felt a little down about that. And once again, I handed it to him. And then I'm like, well, how am I going to pay for this?
Yeah.
How am I going to pay for this? And because, yeah, I mean, it's just like, anyways, I received an unexpected amount, which covered exactly what I needed for this next step.
Okay. Yeah. It covered it N times a couple.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's
It
like I'm
abundantly
like,
covered it.
I mean, I just cried because it was like I think for the first time in my life, I actually just gave it to him and said, I didn't put any dollar amount on it. I just
Yeah.
said, you know, if you want me to have this, you need to provide for me. You need to
Mm.
provide the means for it. No dollar amount, no time limit or anything. And boom, it was there.
Oh
And
my
that's the first
gosh.
thing I did was, Jaya,
That's
when does this start?
amazing.
I want to pay for this
Amazing.
now.
I mean, yeah. So basically, the short of the story is Mary decided that she wanted to serve. She was like, I
Yes.
want to show up in service and I'm going
Yes.
to invest in myself and invest in this. And the
Mm-hmm.
money literally arrived in your account.
Oh yeah, literally. I didn't even know it was coming. I just once again logged into my account and it was there.
Oh my
And I'm like,
gosh.
where the hell did this come from? I had to make sure it wasn't a mistake at first. But it was like, yeah, I think, I mean, I've always known I've been a manifester or a creator, and I take full responsibility for the good, the bad, the ugly of my life.
Yeah.
But it's like, I think I finally realized that I'm more in alignment than I've ever been in my entire life because, I
Mm.
mean, that was like almost an instantaneous manifestation.
And that's
And
what it's about, right? I mean, I
I
feel
was
like
right.
I don't sell that I teach manifesting, but let's be real, it's really what it's all about. It's like,
I know, right?
yeah,
Talk about law of attraction. I mean, there's so much talk about that, but like, it's like okay, I think I figured it out why it doesn't work for people.
Yeah. They're out of alignment and they're not asking. That's it.
Right.
That is it. Oh my gosh, incredible. Well, I'm so excited for you, like just to see what's going to come. And
Oh, me
I have
too.
some ideas, but I'm of course open for it to become whatever it's meant to be. And I just really feel so deeply that your story and your message and your delivery, just who you are,
Yeah.
is meant to change people's lives. And I personally feel honored that I get to be this portion of it, whatever portion I get to be, at least the embody momentum portion of, get to
Yeah.
be on your journey with you.
Thank you. I kind of put you in my category of Earth Angel.
Oh, I received that. I feel that might be the first time I've ever heard that. I'm going to remind everybody who is closer to me of that.
Hey, Mary says I'm an Earth
Yeah.
Angel.
Particularly my 22-year-old daughter, I will be reminding her of this.
Yeah.
Well, my clients say I'm an angel.
Yes. Well, you certainly were sent in for my divine guidance. That's for sure.
Well, it is my angel. I mean, and I receive it because I'm not receiving it with my ego or really my humanness. Certainly sometimes I do receive things in that way,
Yeah.
but it's not, because this message and what Embody is so much bigger than me. It
It
really
really
is.
is.
Yeah, it's just I'm the messenger, I'm the vehicle, and I happen to be the right one for it. And you are the same,
Yeah.
where there's a message in you, and I believe that that's this next paradigm of
Mm-hmm.
leadership and what's
Yes.
possible. It's possible to create an abundant life out of what you're meant to do, from
Yeah.
your co-creation with spirit and your
Yes.
intuition. So
Yes.
why not? Like, why
I know,
not do it
right?
that way? It feels
Yeah.
so much better than being in the masculine, forcing, pushing, hustling, trying to figure it out with your brain. Like, fuck all that. What
Trying
if
to
you could get,
force it.
yeah, what if you could get better results using your intuition and being in touch with yourself, and, using your positive thinking and positive relationship with yourself? Like, what if?
What if? Yeah. What if it
Why?
could be easy and effortless?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Why not? Okay,
Why
well,
not?
I love you so much. I'm so grateful for this time with you. I feel like it's really just us chilling in my backyard.
Right? It
Yeah,
feels
it's
like
so
it. It's
good.
beautiful outside.
And next up, I think the next time I see you in the physical we'll do a photo shoot with my daughter.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Right?
That would be an awesome needed next step.
We are going to do that. We are. 100%. It's already done.
Yeah. It's already out there in the universe.
Exactly. Okay, babe. I'll talk to you soon. I'll see you this
All
week.
right.
I'll see you Thursday for our coaching.
Yes. Awesome. First
Okay.
day of Master Momentum.
Woo!
Love you. Bye.
Love you. Bye.